All right, what's going on, guys? We're back here today at Hoogie's Imports with another very special vehicle. This one here is a 1996 Suzuki Jimny. I have wanted a Jimny for a very long time. I think they're just such cool looking little off-roaders. And you know, I love the Cappuccino. I love the Suzuki Alto Works we had. Those both had the F6A engine. So great little engine. This one actually has the K6A, which is the next engine that came after the F6A to replace that. With the difference being, I think this is an all aluminum block. Someone might have to correct me in the comments, but I think it's an aluminum block and it's got a timing chain rather than a timing belt. So that's also nice to not have to worry about that. And yeah, great little engine. I think the torque is upped a little bit from the F6A, not by much, but I mean, they still had to abide by K-car regulations, which, you know, 64 horsepower, 660 cc and all that. So yeah, this one's a little 660 cc 3-cylinder turbo, which is very cool. So you get all the goodness of the turbo noises and a little extra power that it provides as well. So this one, as you can see, it is slightly modified. 16-inch aftermarket wheels with those nice little knobbly tires, those Toyo open country tires, which is really nice. Very smooth tires. So yeah, someone definitely modified this thing a little bit, and it seems like they spent some good money on it, because I mean, it all seems to be pretty quality aftermarket pieces. The wheels are nice with the bead locks. Got the Rosso Modello muffler right there, which, you know, I've never heard of the company, but the quality of the muffler does look really nice, and it sounds great too, and it's not too loud. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, you know, we were looking. I've wanted one of these Suzuki Jimnys for a very long time. I always kind of wanted one that was a little bit modified, so when I saw this one with the muffler, the wheels and tires, and then of course it was listed with with aftermarket air intake and blitz blow-off valve, yeah, I was very interested in it. So yeah, we lucked out with this one. It's in really nice condition. It has been repainted, so the paint's not absolutely perfect. There's some orange peel on there, but overall it really looks great. As you can see right there, nice paint, nice and shiny. The hood looks great, nice and shiny. And yeah, overall it just appears to have been a very well taken care of car, very well loved, and yeah, tastefully modified. So yeah, it runs and drives great. AC blows nice and cold, which is great, especially for a 1996 K car. It's not all the time where you get a K car of this age that the AC blows nice and cold, and this one does, which is always a nice little added bonus. But yeah, like I said, it is very clean all around. The underside's very clean. A little bit of surface rust here and there, but nothing too crazy. These Jimnys can be pretty hard to find without any corrosion or anything like that. And unfortunately, we do have a couple tiny little spots. There's just this spot right here. As you can see, a little bit of bubbling right there on the arches. Very, very common for these Jimnys, unfortunately. And then on the front one here, a little bit of bubbling again. But on the body, those are the only spots. Underside is super clean. Let me show you guys the underside. As you can see, looks very nice under there. Yep. So overall, very clean little Jimny. I think this one came out of Tokyo, so not as cars aren't as prone to rusting with the climate there, so not too bad. Not a northern vehicle or anything like that. So yeah, we will take a look. The exterior looks nice, and the interior is just as nice to match that. So as you can see, door cards are nice and clean. A little bit of dings and scuffs here and there, to be expected. And then of course we got these beautiful aftermarket seats, AAR seats. I've never heard of those, but I don't know if they're a well-known company or anything like that. But yeah, these are really nice little seats. I love the black leather look of these things, and they're very comfortable. And yeah, custom brackets. And then we do have some aftermarket radio pieces. I think this is just a, yeah, aftermarket CD player, I guess. And then a little aftermarket Kenwood head unit. And then does have some wires that could probably be cleaned up down there. I don't know anything about car stereos really, so I'm not going to mess with it. And yeah, I'll show you guys in the back. I think there's like a little amplifier underneath this seat, or like an extra speaker or something. And as you can see, a couple little extra speakers were installed by the previous owner. And in the back there as well. And then of course we got the back seats right there, nice and clean, to go along with the nice aftermarket front seats as well. 5-speed manual transmission and high-low transfer case, 4-wheel drive. Does have manually locking hubs up front, as you can see there on our nice little wheels. Love the 5 spokes. And yeah, we do have a teeny tiny little steering wheel, which is really cool. I love that. I love the steering wheel. Yeah, it feels a little bit weird at first just holding such a small steering wheel, but luckily the steering's really light on these things, so the power steering's pretty boosted, so you know, having a small steering wheel doesn't affect your ability to turn the wheel or anything like that. But I just love the look at it, and like the wood as well. Seems to be a pretty quality piece as well. I would assume, I guess it's a Nardi steering wheel, looking at the middle piece right there. So it's Nardi and then BRT. For those who know more about steering wheels than I do, maybe you can leave a comment down there. And yeah, like I said, the AC blows nice and cold. There's the little AC button right there. And really not too much more to go over in the interior. Headliner's nice and clean. There's one little rip right there, or like some separation, I guess, right there in the middle. And then a couple little spots here and there, but you know, it's a very clean little headliner for a 1996 vehicle. But yeah, just look at those seats. I love those seats. They're really nice. Yeah, so let's go around to the driver's side. Actually, while we're here, little hood release is right here. Little glove box right here. There's the hood release. Make sure I pull that all the way. Glove box. And again, super nice interior. So I guess while we're walking around, we can see. Oh, sorry about that. There's the hood. And there's our little engine, little 660cc 3-banger turbo. Definitely packs a punch for such a tiny little engine. There's a teeny tiny little turbo. It's hiding down there. It's like a turbo the size of your fist. I mean, yeah, clean engine. Like I said, not too much has been done to it. Just aftermarket intake. This little charge pipe is aftermarket as well. And then little aftermarket oil catch can, which is nice. And yeah, and the blow-off valve as well, which is supposedly a little Blitz blow-off valve. I think that's blow-off valve. I'm not entirely sure. I think. Yeah, anyways, yeah, the exhaust coming off the turbo is stock, so you know, no super modifications there, just the muffler is changed up. So overall, mostly stock drivetrain, which you know can give some people a peace of mind that hasn't been messed with too much. All very tasteful modifications in my opinion. So anyways, let's go ahead, we can close that hood. Nice little front trim pieces as well. Nice chrome. Usually I'm not a huge fan of chrome trim on vehicles, but I think it goes really nicely with this car, the whole theme of it, with the black on black. And then, yeah, need to add a little bit of color to the vehicle. Well, I guess it's not really a color, but change it up a little bit at the bottom. And yeah, these little rock guards, they're pretty solid pieces of metal. I've seen these on quite a few Jimnys as well, which is really cool. And then same thing wrapping around the back here. And then do have some aftermarket LED tail lights, which is really nice. And then of course a little gas tank guard as well, which is pretty common on these Jimnys, but I just love that view right there. I love that little muffler. So yeah, another thing to mention, this thing has had the rear wiper delete, which I mean, I guess is a pretty common thing on the Jimnys, I'm not really sure. The rear wheel delete is very common. I do see that quite often on the Jimnys that pop up for sale. Yeah, so nice little piece. So yeah, as you can see, someone definitely spent some money on this thing to add to the character and make it cool. But anyways, without further ado, we can go ahead and hop in. We'll start it up. Yep, we got the little Japanese toll card reader as well. Yeah, engine starts up perfectly every time. Idle's great. I haven't had a single issue driving this thing around at all. I've put quite a few miles on this thing. I've driven it a little bit more than most of the imports, and yeah, just because I love this thing so much. It's such a cool little car. It's by far one of, well, not by far, I love all the cars that I get in, but this is definitely one of my favorites for sure. And yeah, like I said, I know you guys can't feel it on here, but AC blows nice and cold, kicks on without any issues. Even when I was driving this thing in the dead of summer, it was keeping up with like 95-degree weather. So it's a pretty good little AC unit on this thing. Well, I know it's not an AC unit, but pretty good little AC system on this thing. So yeah, I guess okay, I've said that like 8 times without further ado, but yeah, let's go ahead and we can give this thing a little test drive. Let me get my seat belts on, and let's close the door. Yeah, let me make sure all the other doors are closed. Yeah, we closed everything. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll take this thing for a little spin around the block. And yeah, I do have the windows open, so maybe we can hear some of that intake and blow-off valve. But yeah, let's see. Let's go down this way this time. So yeah, as you can see, tiny little steering wheel, but I'm turning it with one hand. That's the power steering on this thing is pretty boosted, so it feels nice. The tiny steering wheel does not affect the way you can turn the wheels or anything like that. So anyways, let's listen in. I don't want to go too fast through this residential area, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's not super slow. It's not the fastest thing in the world either. I mean, it is a tiny little engine pushing this thing around. A lot of the power does come from that turbo. Down low, there's definitely quite a bit of turbo lag, but yeah, I mean, it feels great. Try to shift and drive with one hand. There's 4th gear and then 5th gear. So yeah, this thing feels great. Such a great little car. I apologize for the wind noise, but I wanted you guys to really hear some of those turbo noises and that exhaust, which, yeah, you know, it's really not the exhaust is not loud really at all. It's not obnoxious or anything like that. But I do love the look of it, and I love having a little bit of extra sound that it provides. Let's go ahead and shift in 3rd gear right here, cruising along. Yeah, runs and drives awesome. You know, there's really not too much to say. Yeah, it's just a great little car that makes all the right noises, and yeah, just a super cool car to drive around town. A lot of people stop and ask about what it is and all that. I mean, a lot of people assume it's a Samurai, or a lot of people just, you know, say it's a Jeep. But yeah, great little cars for sure. See if we can hear that. Some turbo again. I love the fact that it has a little blow-off valve on there as well. It sounds so cool. Yeah, let's downshift into 2nd right here. Again, absolutely no issues with downshifting or anything like that. No synchro issues or anything. It's absolutely perfect. So yeah, that's that. And I guess what we can do while it's still running, we can come around to the front here. And if anyone is wondering, that's the, of course I just took my seatbelts off, so seatbelt light. And then that one is the e-brake light. So a lot of people ask about the lights on the dash. Yeah, see, pull the e-brake, it's off. So that's that. So let me pull this hood latch again on there. And we take a quick peek at the engine while it's running. Get that latch. Yep. So yeah, as you can see, no obscure belt noises or anything like that. Idle's great, especially for like for a little 3-cylinder. It's very smooth. Yeah. So there's that. I'm gonna close that and come around to the exhaust in the back. Get a closer listen to that as well. Sounds awesome. So yeah, you can go ahead and cut this thing off. Show you guys a couple little extra things on the interior. Well, I guess back here. I don't think I showed the rear seats and the tailgate. Yep. So cool little feature, opens up to the side. I love that. I think it's really cool. Nice little strut up there. And then of course, not very much cargo room as it is, but these seats do fold forward. Let's see, pull that. And of course the front seat's getting in the way right now, but these do fold flat and they fold forward again, so you can get a lot of room. And I think they're removable with just a few bolts as well. So yeah, you can pull this and it folds the whole seats. They fold forward, so you get a bunch of extra room down there. And then of course there's a little like amplifier or extra speaker that I was talking about. So the sound system on this thing, especially for a little 1996 economy car, yeah, it sounds great. So I think this thing was definitely well loved, and someone, you know, spent a good amount of money on it, and yeah, ready for its new home. I will definitely be sad to see this one go, because it's been one of my favorites for sure. Very, very cool little cars. And the good thing too is that the value on these things are not going down, so makes for a good purchase as well. But yeah, I'll tack on a little driving video. I had a buddy that was driving the other day, so I got a good video. So it's actually a little bit smoother, so you guys will be able to hear the blow-off valve and intake from the passenger seat where I'm sitting in the video. So I'll add that to the end, and yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it. So if you guys have any interest in this thing, definitely reach out, ask as many questions as you want. Always happy to answer, always happy to share these little cars with people. So yeah, this is a very good one. So if you're in the market for a nice little Jimny, this could be the one for you. And I guess one little thing I could add to as well, you know, it is a K car, so it can do highway speeds. But you know, it'll be sitting at like 4,000 RPMs or so at 70 miles an hour, which is about, I mean, these engines are happier at a higher RPMs anyways, because, you know, they're basically like little motorcycle engines. And yeah, their red line is pretty high on these things. So it's pretty typical of K cars, but as far as K cars go, this is one of the more highway capable K cars that I've experienced, especially since it has, you know, the turbo on there, and it's a little bit more powerful than a naturally aspirated K truck or something like that. So it can get up and go and keep up with highway speeds as well. But yeah, so I guess with that, that'll end the video. I'll end the video here. So if you guys have any questions, just feel free to comment below or check out the website, hoogiesimports.com, and you guys can contact me there. Phone call or text, either one works, or email or whatever, what have you. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. And yeah, we got lots of cars coming in, so if you guys see anything you're interested other than this Jimny, then feel free to check it out. But all right, guys, I will catch you in the next one, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.